And you might get a doubt that where this osmosis process will take place, how it is useful for the plants and animals. So that is what we are going to see now. So children, these are the different processes, different experiments which tell about how materials move from or move across the membranes through a process called as osmosis. Okay, so now here there are two scientists, right? No, one is Freddie Mercury and second one is David Bowney. So these are the two scientists. Actually, before talking about the two scientists, you know that the 3/4 of the earth is filled with the water, and most of them is the sea water or the water which is present in the oceans and all, which is not at all usable, right? So you cannot use that. So this water cannot be used by humans for the drinking or any other purposes. So these two scientists, they have used some techniques. They have used the semi-permeable membranes, and they divided the fresh water from the salt water, and this is what we call it as the reverse osmosis. We call it as the reverse osmosis, and the same technique is nowadays used in all the kinds of like water filters which are available in the market. You might have seen the ads of Kent or Aquaguard and all these. There will be a symbol on that is RO. So RO is nothing but the reverse osmosis. By reverse osmosis, they are able to go ahead with the desalination, that is removal of salt from the water and make the water fresh, and then use it for the different purposes. So that is how we end the topic of the osmosis. So before completing this osmosis, now we will see how this osmosis is important to us, how it is really helpful to plants or the animals. That is what we are going to see now. Entry of water into the roots. Now this is the first one which we have to understand. Now already we have discussed this one, that there are roots, okay, and roots will have the cells here, okay, and cells will have some concentration, that is some kind of salt concentration. So now here whenever you pour water here, so what are the salts which are there in this soil will get dissolved in this water, and what is formed here? A kind of solution is formed, and this solution now is actually in a low concentration because this cell is very small, and the solution which is here will be in the high concentration compared to the solution which is in the soil. So here, this, from the movement of molecules from the lower concentration, they will start moving into the higher concentrations. So what happens now? Okay, they have come to the higher concentration. So from here now, this particular salt, so the solution which is here, now it is diluted because there is an addition of solution from the soil. Now when you compare these two cells, it is having the higher solution, higher concentration, it is having the lower concentration. So again, the water, the solution from this will move into this cell, okay, and again now this will become low concentrated, this will become high concentrated. So again, in this process, the water will keep on moving. So entry of water into the roots and also movement of water between the cells. All this process takes place because of the osmosis. This is how osmosis is helpful to the plants. And opening and closing of stomata. If you have observed a leaf, you can find stomata on the leaves, isn't it? They are responsible for transpiration process to expel the water which is excess in the plant. So that is also controlled by osmosis process. Because when there is scarcity of water, they have to store the water. So if they have to store the water, then what is the process which is important? That is osmosis. And then all our bodily waste material filtered from the blood. Especially this process will happen in the kidney. That is also in the nephron. Nephrons are the structural units of kidneys, which we will be learning in the next next class, that is in the 10th class, in the chapter which is called as excretion. So here, whatever the materials which are there, which are waste in our body, they should be filtered out, because if they are not filtered, they will become poisonous to our body. So to avoid that, what happens here is, these particular molecules and all the waste materials, they should be removed outside. So if they have to be removed outside, again there is a process which is called as the osmosis. And in the same process, whatever the useful materials are there to our body, they are absorbed into the blood through the, again, semi-permeable membranes. So this is also through the process called as osmosis, especially when there is a digestion, or when the digestion finishes, whatever the food is there, that will be absorbed and that will be sent into the blood. Again, there is a process which is nothing but the osmosis. So osmosis is a process which is really helpful to each and every plants and also animals. That is how osmosis plays a major role in the living organisms. So by this we come to the end of the topic which is called as the osmosis. Okay, and also all the experiments we have seen till now. And now we'll go to the next topic which is called as the diffusion. Okay children, till now we have heard about the osmosis through which the transport of materials will take place. There are some other processes by which the transportation of the materials also will take place. One such process is diffusion. So if you take a scent bottle and if you spray in a room, okay, so the smell which is here will be of high concentration, isn't it? The smell here will be of high concentration, and then when it keeps on moving the entire room, okay, so now the molecules will start moving to the different areas in the room. Even the person who is standing here also will get the smell, isn't it? This also happens when teachers use certain sprays and all when they come to the class. Not only the children who are sitting in the first bench will get the smell, but also the children who are sitting in the last benches will also get the same smell, because it may take some time for the molecules to reach them, but definitely it will happen. Okay, this is one example which I can give you. So this kind of process from where the molecules are moving from the high concentration to the lower concentration is called as diffusion. Okay, and till when this process will take place? Till the concentration on both sides, on this side and this side, it becomes equal. That means it was higher concentration here when it is released out of the bottle. So from here the water molecules will keep on spreading until they are uniformly distributed in this particular room, or until they completely go out of this room. Till they are uniformly distributed, they keep on traveling to different places randomly. Okay, so that is what we call it as the diffusion. So this diffusion is now taking place in the gases. Diffusion is a process which is taking place in the gases. This is the same process which we have learned in the before lessons, especially when we have talked about the lungs, right? How the diffusion process will take place in the lungs and how the exchange of gases will take place in our lungs, right? Then we'll see one more example like this. Now you can do this experiment at your home also. You can take a glass, okay? You can take a glass which is a see-through glass, and then take some coffee powder and make it into a coffee ball, a small ball like thing, okay? Fill it with water, and slowly put this ball in the glass. And now you keep on observing there, what will happen? What kind of changes you will observe it, okay? Now this particular ball will start melting, isn't it? It will start melting, and now here you can see higher concentration, and also the color here will be absolutely thick brown in color. Okay, whereas here it will be white in color except from where it has fallen down. Only that particular place will have some pale brown color. And now the molecules from here, they'll start moving very slowly. It's not a process which will take place in 10 minutes or half an hour or 1 hour. It will take its own time, but they'll keep on moving until now it was a higher concentration here. It's a very dark brown color here, isn't it? So after some time, if you see, the whole glass will have the same color. Whole glass will have the same color. Why there is same color? Because all these molecules, they kept on moving until the color on the both sides, that is this side and this side, is uniform. Until it reached the right equilibrium into uniform colors and all, the molecules will keep on moving from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Once the concentration is equal, then movement of molecules will stop. Okay, children. So we'll take one more example also here. In the place of coffee powder, what you can also take is potassium permanganate crystal. You can use a forceps. You can take a forceps, and what you can do here is you can hold a potassium permanganate crystal which is violet in color, and then you can place it in the beaker which is full of water. And now you can see the same kind of changes which is also happening here. So you can see that again this particular part will be dark violet in color. Okay, and again this part will be dark violet in color, and slowly the molecules will keep on moving to the different places randomly, and this will continue till this potassium permanganate crystal completely melts. Not only melts, it also there will be uniform color. That means the color which is here and the color which is here will be completely uniform. So this is nothing but the diffusion process. So what is diffusion here? Diffusion is movement of molecules from the higher concentration to the lower concentration until the concentration on both sides becomes equal. So this is called as the diffusion. So these are all the examples of the diffusion. Okay, children. So by this we understood that the movement of molecules, okay, they can easily transfer from the one membrane to the other membrane. Okay, if it is osmosis, they require a semi-permeable membrane. And also there is a process called as diffusion. This diffusion, it can happen in the gases as well as liquids. And whereas coming to the osmosis, it basically happens in the liquids than in the gases. So this is how we come to the end of the unit, which is called as the plasma membrane. So hope you all understood this unit and all. Okay, children. So take care. See you all. Have a great day. Bye.